Hey guys, welcome back to another video where today I'm going to show you how you can build this villager trading hall for Minecraft 1.14.4 and above. But before we get into the tutorial, I want to show you how this thing works. If you want to skip straight to the tutorial, you can use the timestamps, which will be in the description below, and there will also be a world download in the description if you'd like to check out this trading hall in more detail. Basically, the player will have a bunch of villagers in a little hole right here, and right here we have a little bit of a railway. And what this will do is when the player hits this button, it will dispense a minecart, which will pick up one of the villagers and bring them over here. Once the minecart hits this detector rail right here, it will briefly activate this activator rail and deactivate this redstone torch, which will close this trapdoor and also allow the villager to get out at the same time, which will mean that the villager will end up on top of that trapdoor, and then it will also fall through because it only activates briefly and not permanently. And then the minecart will also be able to pass this gap right here and get killed by this cactus, and then the minecart will be picked up by this hopper minecart inside of this block right here, go into this hopper and into this dispenser right here, and then once the villager is down here, you'll be able to select its profession and select its trades, and then once the player is happy with its trades, it will send the zombie to kill it to get the trades to a cheaper price. After that, the villager will be sent off by hitting this button right here, and it will go over to one of these booths. Basically, how this works is this activator rail right here will send the villager out onto this side right here, and as you can see, there is string right here, which will activate this observer, which will spit out this pistons block, which will activate this redstone line, which will deactivate this redstone torch, which will deactivate this activator rail, so the next time a villager comes through, it will end up in this booth, and so on, so you could extend this as far as you wanted to. And also, if you run out of booths, the villagers will be ousted into this cactus right here, and they will be sent into this block right here to kill them, so you don't have any villagers running around. Then, once all the minecarts end up here, they'll get killed by the cactus and go into this hopper minecart in a block right here, and then they'll go into this dropper, and once the dropper has any items in it, this comparator will detect that, which will activate this sticky piston, which will push the observer down here, creating an observer clock, which will spit out all of the items in this dropper, which would be minecarts. And then the minecarts would be spit out and go across this water line and up this soul sand elevator, and back into the very beginning, into this dispenser right here. So you have a fresh minecart that you could use infinitely, so you don't have to get new minecarts every single time you use this villager trading hall. So to use this villager trading hall, the first thing you're going to want to do is take a villager out of this little collection that we have right here. So to do that, you're going to want to press the button on top of the dispenser and make sure that there is a minecart inside of the dispenser, at least one, which is all you need for this farm because we have the return system for the minecarts. So once you send the minecart out, it will pick up one of the villagers and drop it into this little thing right down here. And then you're going to want to select the profession. So I want to be a librarian, so I'm going to use a lectern. You could also do this with other types of villagers using their workstations, but for this I'm going to use a librarian. So then you're going to want to place down one of your workstations, and as you can see, the villager will change profession, and as you see we got cursive vanishing, which I don't want, so I'm going to break the lectern and replace it. And this will only work at the times of the days that villagers are actually working, so keep that in mind. But after that, as you can see, now we have Frostwalker 2, which is actually a pretty good trade. So to lock that in, we're going to want to buy one of their different things that you can buy. It doesn't matter which one you buy. Then you're going to want to break the lectern, and you're going to want to send the zombie to kill it to lower the price. Once the zombie has killed the villager, you should end up with a situation like this, where you have the zombie villager in this hole right here. If you're on normal difficulty, this will only work some of the time. If you're on easy difficulty, then this will not work at all. And if you're in hard difficulty, this will work 100% of the time. But after you've got your zombie villager, you're going to want to send the zombie back over, and then you're going to want to cure the zombie villager. To do this, you're going to need a weakness potion and a golden apple. And then the zombie villager should start to shake and emit these red particles, just like that. And after a little while, your villager should be cured and should have a lot lower prices. After your villager has been cured, you can check his trades to see if you like how low they are. So this costs 11 emeralds instead of 36, which is still really good, but I still want it to be even lower. So to do that, I could just send the zombie to kill the villager once again and cure it, and I'll see you after I've done both of those things. After curing the villager for the second time, we're going to have a lot cheaper prices. So as you can see, we have the cheapest trade possible, which is 1 emerald and 1 book for a Frostwalker 2 book. If you haven't reached this threshold yet, where you have the cheapest trade possible, you can keep doing it until you have, or if you wanted to, you could stick with the trade that you already have. But once you've done that, you're going to want to send your villager off by hitting this button. And as you can see, he'll end up in his little cubby right here, and this activator rail has turned off, which means that the next time a villager comes through, will end up in this cubby hole. And then you're going to want to place in a lectern right here that has a workstation so it can renew its trades whenever it needs to. And if you go over here, the minecart should be back in the dispenser, as you can see. So now for the materials. Obviously the amount of materials you're going to need will depend on how many slots you have in your villager trading hall. But for a villager trading hall with 2 slots, you're going to want a stack in 59 of any type of full opaque block, a stack in 18 of any type of slab, 13 rails, 8 powered rails, 3 activator rails, a detector rail, 28 pieces of redstone dust, 5 hoppers, 4 observers, 4 redstone torches, 4 of any type of button, 3 levers, 3 sticky pistons, 2 of any type of pressure plate, 2 blocks of redstone, 2 dispensers, 2 pieces of string, 1 dropper, 1 redstone comparator, 4 of any type of trapdoor, 1 of any type of sign, 2 cacti, 2 pieces of sand, 1 soul sand, 2 pieces of packed ice, a water bucket. You could also use 2 if you wanted to use an infinite water source, which would make your life a lot easier. Then you're going to want 2 hopper minecarts, a normal minecart, a zombie, and you're also going to want a sword for that zombie if you want it to be able to kill the villager quicker. Just keep in mind that you do not want to have fire aspect on your sword, because that could have a chance that the villager would not be able to turn into a zombie villager, because it would be killed by the fire aspect rather than the zombie itself. Then, for while you're building the farm, you're going to want some kelp and a normal piston. The first thing you're going to want to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks from the ground and make sure you're facing south. You can tell that you're facing south by pressing F3 and looking in the upper right hand corner where it says facing, and it should say south if you're facing in the right direction. Then you're going to want to place a dispenser on top and break all these blocks down here. Then you can place a button on the side and the west side of the dispenser, and then you're going to want to go 1, 2, 3 blocks downwards diagonally from the dispenser, 1 block upwards, and 1, 2, 3 blocks more to the side, and then 1 more block upwards like that. Then you can break that temporary block right there. Then you're going to want to go 1, 2 temporary blocks upwards and create a little ring of half slabs going around this block. You can break those blocks now. And then you're going to want to operate your railway. So to do this, all you have to do is go 1, 2 blocks to the side with your powered rail, 1 block of normal rail. Then you're going to want to go 1 block upwards with your powered rail, and this block should curve upwards. Then you're going to want to place a rail right here and a temporary rail up here, just so this powered rail curves upwards as well. And then you're going to want to place your other rail at the end right here. And then you have to power these rails, and to do that, all you have to do is place a lever right here and power it. Then you're going to want to go 1, 2 blocks outwards from that rail right here, and you're going to want to place a detector rail on top of that block and an activator rail on the next block. Then, against this block with the detector rail on top, you're going to want to place a redstone torch, and against this redstone torch, you're going to want to place a block. Under this block, you're going to want to place a half slab and another block against on the side of it. Then you're going to want to break that block and place 2 pieces of redstone on top of them. After that, you're going to want to place in some temporary blocks and add in a trapdoor, just like that. And then you're going to want to go 1 block upwards from that trapdoor, place a trapdoor like that, open it, and then you're going to want to create a little bit of a ring going around that trapdoor, just like we did over there. And then you're going to want to place a slab on top of that trapdoor. Then you're going to want to come down here, you're going to want to place a temporary block and place a half slab right there. After that, you're going to want to go 1, 2 blocks downwards from this half slab, and you're going to want to place a hopper against those temporary blocks. After that, you're going to want to place a rail on top of that hopper, a hopper minecart on top of that, and break that rail. Then you're going to want to place blocks on either side of this hopper minecart, and place a piston facing towards the hopper minecart against that 1 block. After that, you're going to want to place a lever against this piston, and fire the piston, and then you can break that piston once again, and you can also break this block over here. After that, you're going to want to place a sign against this block down here with a piece of sand on top and a cactus above that. And then you're going to want to place a slab on top of that cactus, and over here you're going to want to place a rail. Next, you're going to want to place a hopper against this half slab, and then you're going to want to place a hopper against that hopper. Then below this hopper, you're going to want to place a dispenser facing this direction, and you're going to want to place a button against that side. Then you're going to want to go one block diagonally outwards from the dispenser and one block forwards in this direction. After that, you're going to want to go another block forwards in that direction, one block diagonally upwards, one block diagonally downwards, and 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks over to the side. After that, you're going to want to add 2 power rails and fill in the rest with normal rails. And then you're going to want to place a half slab at the bottom of this block and a half slab against the bottom of this block, just like that. Then you're going to want to go one block out from this powered rail, and you're going to want to go 2 blocks forwards. After that, you're going to want to place a powered rail over here, a rail in the middle, and another powered rail on the side. After that, you're going to want to place a block next to this powered rail and a slab on top, and do the same with the other powered rail on the opposite side. After that, you're going to want to place a block right here, and you're going to want to go 1 block backwards diagonally, 1 more block backwards, 1, 2 blocks to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks over, 1 block upwards diagonally, and 1 block backwards diagonally with a slab. After that, you're going to want to fill in all of those blocks with some redstone, just like that, and you're going to want to place a redstone torch against this block over here. Then you're going to want to come over here and place a block in the middle with a lever on top. After that, you're going to want to place a slab against that block and another slab under here. And then you're going to want to place a temporary block over there just so that your zombie cannot get out. Then you're going to want to find a zombie that can pick up items, just like this, and you're going to want to give it a sword so that it can stay alive, and also so that it can kill the villager a lot quicker. After you've given your zombie your sword, you're going to want to place a minecart in that block right there, and you're going to want to flick the lever. Then the zombie should get inside of the minecart, and you're going to want to flick the lever again so it goes back into its original position. And then you're going to want to break this temporary block back here. Once you've done that, you're going to want to add an extra block to this rail line and put an activator rail on top. Then you're going to want to place a piece of string against this activator rail, just like that. You can see its hitbox right there. And then you're going to want to place an observer against the bottom of that string. After that, you're going to want to place a block against the side of the observer and one below it, and a sticky piston facing downwards there. Then you're going to want to place a redstone block against that sticky piston. Go 1, 2 blocks downwards, and 1 block to the side. 1, 2, 3 blocks over, 1 block upwards diagonally, 1 block backwards diagonally with a slab, and 1 block backwards diagonally with a block, and then put a half slab on top of that. Then you're going to want to fill in this area with some redstone, and put a redstone torch right there. After you've done that, this rail should turn on. Then you're going to want to place a temporary block there, and a trapdoor on top. And then you're going to want to place slabs on either side of the string, and 2 slabs against this, and 1 block over to the side. And then you're going to want to place a temporary block on top of those slabs, and place a half slab against there, and place a button below that slab. Once you've done that, if you want to have more space for your villagers, you can expand your trading hall by just placing a block here with a powered rail on top, and powering it with a lever on the side, just like that. And then you can keep doing this until you have as many slots as you want to, and you would start this exact same module that we have over here that we created in the past 2 steps, and you'd start it on this block with the activator rail right here. After you've done that, it should look just like this. If you wanted to, you could stay with 1 slot, or you could do over 2 slots, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to do 2 slots. After you've done that, you're going to want to build the mechanism that will be picking up all of your minecarts. So to do that, you're going to want to go 1 block outwards, and 1 block diagonally downwards, just like that with a hopper. Then you're going to want to place a rail on top of that hopper, a hopper minecart on top of that rail, and then break that rail. Then you're going to want to place blocks on either side of the hopper minecart, and a piston facing into one of those blocks. After you've done that, you're going to want to power the piston, unpower it, and then you can break the piston and the block on the opposite side. Then place rails on top of these 2 blocks, a block against this hopper, a sand block on top of that, and a cactus block on top of that. Then you're going to want to place a block against that block over there, and a slab against that, and then a slab on top of that block. After that, you're going to want to come down here and place a slab against that slab, and a slab on the opposite side against this rail. Then place a dispenser against the bottom of this hopper, which will be facing towards the direction of that dispenser over there. And then you're going to want to go 1 block backwards diagonally with a block and place a comparator on top of it with a slab against the front of that comparator and a piston facing downwards over here, as well as a observer facing in that direction and another observer down here facing towards that other observer. And then place 2 blocks against the back of that observer and go 1 block upwards diagonally and 1 block backwards diagonally with a slab, and then you're going to want to fill that in with redstone. After that, go 1 block diagonally downwards from the front of the dispenser, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks forwards from there. Then place a block of packed ice with a pressure plate on top. After that, you're going to want to go in this direction, and every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks, you're going to want to place a block of packed ice with a pressure plate on top until you've reached the plot that you want to be. To realize that you're in the correct spot, you have to be 1, 2, 3 blocks from the front of your dispenser, just like that. After that, you're going to want to build the walls around your waterways. So to do that, for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, you're going to want to have a 2-high wall with half slabs on top, and that would be on both sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slabs on top. And then you're going to want to fill in the rest of the sides with slabs. You can skip that corner to save some resources, and then do the same all the way down here. And you're going to want to do the same over here. 1, 2, 3, and then go all the way down, just like that. And then you're going to want to add in some water. So to do that, you're going to want to put in water over here in front of the dispenser, and some water over here. Then go 1 block from the dispenser in the front by using a hopper, and 1 block from that hopper. And then you're going to want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks downwards. Then you can place a block down here. Make sure that this block right here is a pressure plate with a block of packed ice under it. It does not have to have an 8-block gap in between. Just make sure that this block is a pressure plate with ice so that the items can flow across, and the water that will be over here will not be able to flow over into this water because that would cause a huge mess. Then you're going to want to create a big tube doing the same height for every single one until you reach the same point where the dispenser is on all 4 sides, just like this. Then at the top, you're going to want to put slabs on around all the sides like this, and then go 1, 2 blocks outwards, and another 1, 2 blocks on that side, and a slab on top of that dispenser. Then you're going to want to place a temporary block there and place your water. Then you can break that block, and then you're going to want to go down into the middle, and you're going to want to place kelp going all the way up to the top. And then you can come down here and break this block and replace it with soul sand, and then it should become bubble water, and all of the kelp should go into the dispenser where you can take it out afterwards. And then that is it. Now that I've shown you how to build this villager trading hall for Minecraft 1.14.4 and above, it's time to end this video. So if you liked it, then please leave a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please subscribe. And also make sure to turn notifications on if you want to see more content like this. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!